Okay, my machine's acting up on me a little bit. I'm hoping you see a blank screen or blank canvas on your screen at this moment. We're going to do the text tutorial product. Okay, so this is what we're going to be creating. It's a nameplate to go on a desk. Simple little project utilizing the text tool. We'll be introduced to a few other things as we go through. Uh, we're actually going to use the polygon tool. We'll be extruding, filleting, both in the sketch and design modes. And we'll experiment with extruding or cutting through the extrude tool with the text. All right, so let's start off. Let's go to new canvas, create a sketch. Let's use the YZ plane. Okay, that's going to be the right and left sides. I think that's YZ plane. Yeah. We're going to go start off, create polygon, and we're going to do a circumscribed polygon. We'll get into the different polygons when we do the polygon tool. Come to the origin, click, let's tab over first to the number of sides. That dimension box dictates the number of sides in our polygon. Well, this is a little straightforward. We want to draw a triangle, but we're going to use the polygon tool and number of sides to 3. Okay, now let's tab back over to our dimension box. We want our distance from the center point to the, I guess the center of the edge there to be 20 millimeters. All right, and hit enter. We have a triangle drawn. Now, we don't want those sharp points on our triangle. So in the sketch mode, we're going to use the fillet tool. So under the modify menu, we have the shortcut here, or we can go modify, fillet. We're going to select top corner, and not 15 millimeters, we'll make it 4 millimeters. We just want to round it off a little bit. Let's go select our other 2 corners. All right, so we have got those edges rounded off nicely. Looks pretty good to me. Let's hit enter. And that's all we're going to do in this sketch. So let's finish sketch. And we have a triangle drawn. We're looking at it from the home position. And now we want to create our depth to that triangle. We want to extrude it. So let's go to extrude. You can go create, extrude. You can use the keyboard shortcut of E, or just click on extrude up here in the shortcuts. All right, I want to extrude at 140 millimeters. All right, there we are. 140 millimeters, we're going to create a new body. I didn't have to select my profile because I only had one item available to me to extrude. So Fusion selected that profile for me, and I agreed with it. So we are good to go. Click OK. And we have our base shape. All right, very good. Now, what to do next? We want to hollow this out, right? It's not a solid block. So let's go create sketch. And this time, instead of using a plane, we are going to create a sketch on the right face of the object we just created. So I'm going to click on the right face. Now it aligns for me. And I want to offset the shape, the outer shape here. So I'm going on the modify menu. The shortcut right here is for the offset listed right there. I can go modify, offset, keyboard shortcut of O, offset. And I'm going to select this outer edge. Now notice how I hover over it. The whole continuous edge turns blue for me for the selection. That's because I have chain selection checked. If I uncheck that, notice only the edges, the particular line segment or curve is selected. So I could lessen my selection if I wanted to, but I want the whole thing. So let's keep chain selection. The whole thing is selected, click, and I want to offset it a negative 8 millimeters. So it comes in. All right. And that is exactly what I'm looking for. Let's click OK. And now I have the a enclosed shape, which is smaller. Okay, that's going to represent the area that I'm going to hollow out. And it's going to leave an 8 millimeter object there, or selection, that will serve as a body of my nameplate. All right, let's finish sketch. I've got my shape here. All right, notice as I click on it, it turns blue. Click out here. I'm going to use extrude again. I know that seems backwards to you, but I'll show you in just a second. There's extrude. Once again, you can get it to the create menu or the shortcut, keyboard shortcut of E. I'm going to select that inner triangle. Okay, so my profile is selected. Notice it did not, if I hit the X here, it'll deselect. It did not select it for me because I had multiple options available to me. So it didn't know which item I wanted. So let's select it again. There we go. And I'm going to take my arrow and I'm going to drag it. Now notice, if I go here, it's turning gray. It's extruding out. But if I go back this direction, it's a reddish color. Pull it out that way. And notice my operation. Okay. I'm going this direction. My operation is join. Where it's joining what I'm creating to the body that exists already. But since I'm going the other direction, the operation changes and it's a cut. Okay, cut. That means I'm removing material. All right, that's exactly what I want. I drug it far enough out that it exceeds the other end of my object. So I'm going to click OK. And what it's done, if I move around here, is it's hollowed out my nameplate. Okay, so we're done with that step. Now, we've got it hollowed out. We are going to add our text to this face now. So let's create a sketch. Once again, I'm going to select this face. Do not select over here where the planes are shown. If you click on space that is occupied both by a plane symbol and the face of the object that you're wanting to sketch with, it will default to the plane. And it will not, you won't be in the right place when you're sketching. Be sketching on the plane and not on the face of the object. So I'm going to click over on this side where they do not overlap. And this way I'm sketching on the face of the object. I'm going to open my text tool, create text. And I'm going to notice how it's snapping to my grid. I'm going to snap to this grid point and drag it down where it snaps here to this grid point. Okay, and there's my text. I'm going to use my name. Notice once again, you can't click and type into this box. Here's where we're going to type in. All right, now that is nowhere near the size or position that I want my text. First thing I'm going to do though is use the font that I want. I click drop down here and That looks interesting. Let's give that a try. Okay, that's not big enough, but I want it bold. You all know I'm bold. Let's try about 15 millimeters. That's still not good enough. I resize it. In a lot of cases, it's simply trial and error. 25. We'll go bigger than that. 35. Too big. 30. Go a little bit bigger. 32. It's not bad. All right. Let's add a little spacing between the characters. Okay, not bad. 2 millimeters. I'm going to center it both horizontally and vertically. All right. Looks pretty good. We'll click OK. Finish sketch. All right, so I have text on the front of it, but that's not going to show up the way I want it. I guess I could give it a different appearance and add a color to it, but that's not really what I want. Let's do this. Let's extrude. Imagine that we're going to extrude something. Click on extrude. Okay, now it's tried to anticipate what I want to select for the extrude, and it was incorrect. I disagree with what it wants. So I'm going to close X out of the selection, deselect. And I'm going to hover over the text so that notice how it turns colors to the dark blue. I'm going to select the text. And let's try 3 millimeters. Join. Click OK. All right, let's go to the front. My text is elevated. I'm not sure that I really like that. That's not exactly what I was looking for. Let's try something different. Actually, I did it intentionally because I'm going to go back in and edit the feature and show you how we're going to do that. So, down in the timeline, there's our last item, which was our extrude. You can double click on it or right click and edit feature. Double click should open the feature as well. Be edited. I don't think I want to do a join, and I don't think I want it extruded. I think what we'll do is cut. So -2 millimeters and change our operation from join to cut. Now remember, we're 8 millimeters thick on our edges here. So maybe we can go a little deeper. You can click into the dimension box here or go directly into the palette, either one. Let's make it -4 millimeters. And let's click OK and see what that looks like. I think we're going to stay with that. Okay. And we are done with our project. Take your screenshots, include your initials, and submit. Until the next one.